right, what we are going to do is
Possibly.
hey, listen up. All right, this is from yesterday. Zach, did you get any of that stuff off the canvas?
No.
No? Okay, so you need to go back and look at those. There weren't any new guided notes, but I'll give you the worksheet here in a minute. But what I want to do is we're going to wait to go over this because I think I'm going to have to go over some of this individually with you because it tends to be like either you get it or you kind of need to get a little bit of help. So we're just going to go through me and Mr. Schlur, some of you, yours at the end of class for that. Now, a couple things for the recovery points for the extra credit for the test. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'll give you up to 50% of the points missed back. Okay. Now, Zach, you don't need to worry about that. If you saw your grade. But if you got a 50 out of 70, okay, if you got a 50 out of 70, the max grade you can get, so you let miss 20 points, you can get 10 points back. Okay, if you get a 60 out of 70. But to do that, that means you have to get 100% on the extra credit. You're allowed to use your notes, you're allowed to use any of the videos, you're allowed to use your book. Okay, but you gotta turn that in. Is that a question?
What if somebody like misses an odd number that can't be physical by you?
Oh, if you miss 15, so that would be 55 out of 70? Well, half of 15 is 7.5. I'll give you half a point. Okay. And so that would be 7.5, that'd be 62.5 out of 70. Okay, so now if you're allowed 10 points back, 10 points is the max. Okay, and let's say you turn in the extra credit and you get an 80% on that. Well, you'll get 80% of those 10 points back, which 0.8 times 10 is 8. If you get a 50% on the extra credit, then you'll get 50% of those 10 points back, which is 5. 5 summative points adds up in the end. So I would do that if you need to get some points back. When is that due? Tomorrow, Thursday. So that extra credit is due tomorrow. So 5.1 to 5.5. Extra credit. Yeah, I know. That's a little abbreviation.
You're missing one letter.
Well, one letter abbreviated. Okay. So due Thursday, you get 50% of the points back. 50%. Okay. Are we in agreement on that? Do everybody understand? Due tomorrow, you hand that in tomorrow, beginning of the period. All right, now if you have not submitted your homework, I'll have you submit it in a little bit. But we're just going to move into 5.7, okay, with the guided notes. Like I said, I want to go over that individually with you.
I just can't wait till Christmas. Thanksgiving break.
Preston's going to work.
Wait, when do we have Thanksgiving break? The 25th, 26th, and then
What's today? 11th, 12th, probably the 26th, 27th. 20.
And then we get 2 weeks off of Christmas break.
Yeah, 26th and 27th.
Oh, well, I'm gonna be missing 9 days.
Wow.
I'm going to Florida.
Yesterday.
For thing, I'm flying on Thanksgiving.
That's kind
On
of
Monday.
nice.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm bringing my laptop so I can work on it.
That's good. Mr. Schler, are we going 50% back on the test?
Whoa.
Thursday. I can lower it.
Yeah, you should do that. Nice. You guys, I must like you guys.
All right, there's only a couple of the graphs. I'm not gonna hand out the protractors right now.
Yeah.
But take a look here. It says graph the line with the given slope that contains the given point. Don't make this hard. We know the slope. Okay, 2. You know a point on the line. All you have to do is you have to put a dot at that point on the line. So go to 3, 1 and put a dot there. Okay, we don't know the y-intercept at this point. It doesn't even ask us what the y-intercept is. So, but I do know the slope. Slope is positive, and it is 2 or 2 over 1. Go from that point. Go up 2 over 1. Now to make it a positive slope, you gotta go up 2, and then we have to go to the right 1. So I go up 2 to the right 1. I go down 2 to the left 1. And then just connect those lines, draw arrow, put arrowheads on them. For that case. So there's your line. What would be the equation of that line in slope-intercept form? Anybody know? Colin, put that away for now. Okay. Somebody's got enough. Take a look at that graph. What would be the equation of that line? Zane, you think you know?
Is it 2x minus 3?
Now, if you say it's 2, so you say y equals 2x minus 3. If that was the case, then what's the y-intercept? If this is the case, what would the y-intercept be?
-3.
-3. Does that graph hit at -3?
Go ahead, graph that line. See that? So you can see.
Okay. So if I graph that line, I'd start at -3. I go up 2 over 1. I would get this line. Okay. Jordan, you know the answer?
Is it y is equal to 3x minus 5?
Say that again.
Y is equal to 3x minus 5.
Where are you getting the 3 from for 3x?
What's those? Oh, okay.
So instead of 3, it should be a what?
2.
2. So y equals 2x minus 5. So according to that, does it hit at -5? Yep. So that's the equation. So even though it didn't ask for you, you need to put those kind of pieces together. 2x minus 3 would have to hit at -3 according to the y-intercept.
Hey, well, before we move on, with Zane, is that you that said 2x minus 3?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys notice anything about those two lines? Even though we know he was wrong, but we're gonna get to this later. But you notice anything, Colin?
Parallel.
The parallel, yeah. If they have the same slope, those are gonna be parallel lines. Okay, and that's gonna come later.
So always that case, because they got the same rise and run. Okay, so they both have a slope of 2. They're gonna hit the y-axis at different points, but they're gonna have that same angle with it. All right, that second one there, it says graph the line with a given slope that contains the given point. Same thing again, slope is 3/4. The point is -2,4. Well, just go to -2,4, put a dot. Put a dot. All right, so -2,4. Now, what is the slope? Slope is 3/4. Positive slope. So it goes uphill 3 over 4. So I go up 3 over 4 from this point. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. go down 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so those are all answers. Did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are not answers to that the equation that satisfies that the situation. So draw, connect. Whoops, where's that moving for? Through there. Now here it does hit the y-axis, but you can't tell exactly where it hits. Looks like, for me, it looks like it hits at 5.5. That would be my y-intercept. That's okay. It doesn't have to hit it at a whole number every time. It can hit it at a decimal. It can hit it at a fraction. But like I said, all I wanted you to do is graph that line. So put a point at -2, 4, up 3 over 4. At least 1 point above, at least 1 point below for this case. All right, now, point slope form of a linear equation. We're going to have two things now. We have slope intercept form, and we're adding what's called point slope form. Now, slope intercept form, y equals mx plus b. That would be a case like y equals 2x minus 3. This tells us a couple pieces of information. It tells me the slope is -2 or +2. It tells me the y-intercept is 0, -3. Sometimes it is better off to give us some different information. Point slope form does not give me the y-intercept. So if you see this, it tells me the point on the line and the slope. So it would look like this. Y minus 5 is equal to m, which let's use 3, x minus 1. That would be an equation in slope intercept form, or point slope form. What would be the slope of that line? Make sure we're making sense. Jordan?
3 over 1.
3 over 1 or just 3, either way. All right, what is the point on that line? What is the point on that line? Okay, this is the x coordinate, this is the y coordinate. It would be 1, 5. Okay, it would be 1, 5. That's the point on the line.
And they weren't like super creative when they thought of these names for these forms. All right, slope intercept form gives you the slope, gives you the intercept. Point slope gives you the slope, gives you a point. Okay, the definition's right there in the title.
One thing you got to be careful of, if it's a plus 5 and x plus 1, here's how that works. Your slope is still 3, but the point is -1, -5. For this one here, it's going to be the opposite sign. So it's always x minus the point. So if it's x minus 1, you use 1 as the point. But if it's a positive 1, it's really like a minus a -1. So you just got to be careful there. All right, now this is what's on that next little thing on your sheet. It says write an equation in point slope form for the line with the given slope that contains a given point. So for the first couple of times, you're going to need to stop and say, all right, what is point slope form? And you're going to want to write down y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so that's different than slope intercept. So write down underneath that first one for A. All you got to do is substitute into the right spots. Okay, the m is always the slope. So this is m. Your point is always xy. So that's your x1, y1. So y minus y1 becomes y minus 1. M is 1/6. X minus 5. You don't need to do anything else with it. Just want you to write it in that form. You're done. Okay, so just do that. Stop. You don't have to do anything else because that is point slope form. All right, that second one, same thing. So we got y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right, slope is m. You got x1, y. All right, substitute in. Substitute in. Go ahead and do that. Alright, so what should I write down, Josh?
Y minus 3 equals -4/1 10 parentheses x and 0.
Good. Now, when it's a whole number, I'm just gonna leave it as a whole number. -4/1, I wouldn't mark anything off, but, I'm just gonna leave it as a whole number. Alright, we're good. Now, the next one we just gotta be careful of. Yeah, Zane.
Can I answer it?
Oh, you got the next one already?
Yeah.
Man, you're ahead of the game. Alright, give me 1 second, cause I'm a little slow. I'm gonna write down y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Alright, what do you got?
I got y minus -4 equals 1, x minus -1.
Y minus -4 equals 1, parentheses, x minus -1. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, yes. Now, this is the only case you are going to have to do one more step because a minus and negative together automatically becomes a what? A positive. So write it down in this step, but your last step, then you need to make this y plus 4 equals 1 times x plus 1.
Do we have to like write it like that, like y minus -4? I mean, immediately just put plus.
You can just jump to that step.
Okay.
Okay? If you're super smart like Christian, you can jump. When you see you got a minus and negative, you can automatically make it a plus. Okay? But you do need, whether you do 2 steps or 1, that doesn't matter. All right, I think we're on the back, right? All right. Yep, flip it over.
So I use the point.
Write an equation. All right, what form does it say? Slope intercept form. So once you see that, you need to think. Y equals mx plus b. I know, it's acting up today. All right, you got to think y equals mx plus b. So in the end, that's what it needs to look like. We've already done this problem. We've already done this type of problem. This was partially what was on that 5-6 worksheet, but we need to hit it again. This is where it's easiest to start with y equals mx plus b, and then we have to find b. And we substitute in. Christian, what goes in for what?
For y, you put in 2
Okay,
equals 5 times 3.
good. The point is xy. For some reason, I'm getting some random green marks. The slope is your m. We got to find the b. You get 2 equals 5 times 3 plus b. So 2 equals 15 plus b. Subtract 15. Subtract 15, and I get -13 equals b. Not done though. Okay, we got all the information now. We got to put it in that slope intercept form, which means y equals, the slope is 5. The y-intercept is -13, so it becomes y equals 5x minus 13. Make sure you have that down there. Make sure you box it. Make sure you circle it. Okay. All right, you try number 2. Follow these steps. Follow these steps. Start with y equals mx plus b. Plug them in. If you need your calculator for that fraction, that's fine.
I don't consider Pump the brakes, man. Let's be kidding.
Okay. There's your m. Where's your x now? Your x is multiply that now. So your x is 6. So you need to be taking 2/3 of 6. I think it does.
I do negative 2/3, negative 2/3.
Good, huh?
I wish I had.
Zero.
Alright, okay.
I did, I just like it right now.
You saw it, you stood by.
Yeah.
Alright, some of you finding out when you get that B value, B equals what? 0. Okay? Now let me go through here. This is set up negative 2/3 times 6 is negative 4. When I add 4, when I do the opposite, I get 0 equals B. That's fine. That can happen. Now my equation is y equals negative 2/3 x. And I'm sure some of you have put plus 0. It's okay, but do I really need that plus 0? No, so what you can do is you can just write that as y equals negative 2/3 x. Okay, you can write that as negative 2/3 x. If you put the plus 0 right now, I wouldn't mark it wrong, but just recognize that you don't have to have that. All right, so now, listen up. Go ahead and turn around. Okay, now here, this one, slope is 1/4, negative 12.5. All right, now I think I think we're starting to understand it. So let's make sure we just can do one without making any mistakes. Going through the other one, 5 goes in for y, 1/4 is m, negative 12 is x, plus b. What is 1/4 times negative 12? It is negative 3. So 5 equals negative 3 plus b. Add 3. 8 equals b. So now I get y equals 1/4 x plus 8. 1/4 x plus 8. So you got that one. All right, and now on that last one, you need to fill in the missing piece. Slope is 0. Slope is 0. It goes through the point 2, negative 1. So I'm still using y equals mx plus b. Negative 1 goes in for y. What's my slope? Big old fat 0. X is 2 plus b. All right, 0 times 2 is just what? 0. So I get negative 1 equals 0 plus b. You don't need to add or subtract 0 because 0 plus b just is b. So b is negative 1. All right, now here's where you got to be careful. How do you write that equation? Zach?
Y equals negative 1.
You're right. He says y equals negative 1. That would be the final answer. Some of you might be saying, all right, the slope is 0. and you're gonna do that. That's technically okay, but what is 0 times anything? 0, so that's gonna disappear. In the end, I just need y equals -1. Okay, I need y equals -1. All right, now here's kind of where we're at. Mr. Schler and I are gonna come look at last night's homework individually, see who needs help. This is your work. If you don't get it done in class, it's homework, but I've given you 15 minutes. It would be a travesty if you didn't get it done.
17.
17. Also, you got that extra credit due tomorrow. All right, we're gonna come around, have your homework out from yesterday. If you didn't finish it, we'll probably have you do that, or some of those problems. So you gotta know how to do it. And that's what, one of our concerns.
Mr. Good, did you not grade the homework?
Not yet, I didn't put any of it in.
Okay.
I didn't put any of it in yet, so that we need to, I need to record who did it, and who